So I think we're going to get rained on here. And that would be typical. It's like one of the rainiest, coldest springs in the Pacific Northwest in a long time. Smoking some Sutliff Private Stock Blend 5. Where did I get this? If you gave it to me, let me know. Because I don't remember. I'm sorry. It was kind of dry, so I've had it for a while. And I'm smoking it in a BP Jum. With these shallow, wide bowls, you kind of need to have a drier tobacco, I think, that smokes pretty good. Otherwise, you're just constantly relighting. I love the look of them, though. You know, it's a pipe that just kind of looks right to me. You know, thick and short and stubby and rusticated, and oh yeah. So, it's a big topic, but I'm going to touch on it. Hope. Hope. 4 words. And yet it makes such a difference in where people are. So, Star Wars and the Rebellion, you know, and they have hope, and that's what the Empire is trying to suppress, is hope. You know, I would suggest that propaganda campaigns going on currently, and it happens on all sides, are all about sowing chaotic thinking, which reduces hope. I think, yeah, it's just one of the missions, a kind of a broader mission, but that's certainly one of them. So I've seen it in action. I've got a buddy who needed little encouragement to have some hope, and so through some talking about things and interaction, yeah, that kind of got rebuilt. And so his day-to-day stuff that was getting him down is allayed, actually, because he is feeling that sense of hope. So it's a great thing. It's a great thing. And religions do that. I mean, you know, the existential thing about, you know, there is no anything else. They attempt to instill hope. So, yeah, I mean, it's so obvious. But when you're in the midst of not being hopeful, it's a big deal. And so, and it's not to be a Pollyanna about it. It's not to create false hope or, yeah, just false hope. But just to be realistic. And I think for most of us, we just have lost our perspective, and so we tend to lose hope. Perspective, putting things in their place in our world, is a way of effectively dealing with that. Now, a way to do that is to talk about things. I remember my first college roommate when I went to the University of Colorado at Boulder. I got this apartment, a basement apartment, for $100 a month. It was just like, it was so great. It was 6 blocks from campus. It was a classics professor who lived upstairs and rented her basement, 2 bedrooms. So there was a guy living there already. He was a master's. He had his master's in psychology and was going for a PhD in psychotherapy, I believe. So we got to be good friends. And he always said, gosh, if I had $20 for the week, to spend on food or anything else, the thing I would spend it on, I would go to McDonald's and eat ketchup packets if I had to, as long as I could maintain my therapy sessions. Because he felt like talk therapy was just the absolute solution, effective solution to many psychological problems. So these days I would suggest Big Pharma has some other ideas, but I still have kind of a lot of faith in talk therapy. And friendships are a lot of what makes a friendship good is that it provides some of those same benefits. So, as talk therapy. So it allows you a place to safely and comfortably talk about what's going on inside your head. And when you do that, it crystallizes those random chaotic thoughts and puts them into a form that you can examine yourself and talk about and decide if, wherever you want to go with that. But it is a way of revealing what's going on in your own mind, which sometimes we just need to verbalize something in order to have it be accessible to other parts of our brain, perhaps. I don't know. I'm not a student of this necessarily. But I do know that friendships are key ways to make visible what's often invisible for us. And then we can examine it and decide how realistic that is. Is it just like this paranoia, this fear, this justified or unjustified fear that's kind of getting us down or whatever. But I think that step is really important, and friendships are where that happens. So I did have a couple of friends depart the area and head over to the East Coast to live, and so we'd go over there and smoke pipes and have long, wonderful conversations, and I am so going to miss that. Because telephone and even Zoom just doesn't have the same depth. So, yeah. So I'm going to really miss that. And just at work, having hope about projects happens when you are able to talk to the people who are involved in all the decision making. I mean, that's how you how you move ahead on this stuff, So hope is really important in our lives, and religion works with that, of course. But just in the everyday functionality of our lives, hope is what we need in order to move ahead and thrive, I would say. And for a lot of people, their spouse is kind of their provider of that. It's kind of a lot to ask of just one person, I think. Yeah, but that's kind of how it works a lot of times. I think a lot of guys they kind of put all their eggs in one basket, and that's the spouse basket, So, a little perilous maybe. But friendships are where that can be really appropriate. So, and I guess I'm feeling it because my pipe smoking buddies have departed, and thinking, how am I going to work with that? Well, and you do that by developing other friendships, I think. Strong, solid, deep, safe friendships. That's how we do it. During COVID, I think a lot of friendships really suffered because we tend to have a lot of more casual friendships, and when you weren't seeing anybody and weren't going out or to work, those friendships really suffered. And and friendships are fragile. They need to be maintained. They need care and the fertilizer of new ideas and shared experiences and just being together doing things. So, yeah. Actually, I have some matches here. I should probably do that instead. It's a little more satisfying to light a match and go through that little ritual. These wide, shallow bowls, though, are tough to keep lit, I will say. And how can you feel what's going on in your pipe if you don't use your finger? I just don't get that. So yeah, everybody needs hope, and so like a lot of things, you just have to make the situations happen that provide you that. Uh, like nobody else is going to really provide that for you. And even when things seem hopeless and they just seem ugh, you know, uh, talking about it and having somebody reflect on that, or even just hearing your own description of what's going on, allows you to maybe realize that, oh gosh, this has happened before. Oh my gosh, we got through it before, you know. So, but you need those friendships in place in order to be able to really talk about things, and those need to be safe places, safe, not just shooting opinions, but actually sharing ideas, and there's a real difference there. So the exposition of opinions, I think, is sometimes mistaken for real conversation, but it is not. So yeah, have hope. Talk to your friends. Make it happen. Yeah.